So pricing is an extremely popular, if not the most popular topic that I discuss with peers and clients and members of the Social Media CEO Clubhouse. I mean, money is clearly an important topic when it comes to running a business, so it's really no surprise that how much should I charge for this service or that service is going to be one of the things on most service providers' minds. So are you charging too little? If so, you run the risk of burning out or resenting your clients. Or are you charging too much? If that's the case, you could be repelling ideal clients and missing out on quality leads. Now, I've worked with my fair share of other social media service providers, and in my experience, most of them, like a majority, 99% of them make the mistake in the beginning of undercharging. I see this happen over and over again. Now, sometimes it's just because they don't know any better. They have no frame of reference for what to charge or how to quantify what it is that they're doing, so a lot of times they'll just slap a random price tag on it that they feel comfortable with that is way too low. Or they may choose to charge a lower price than what their peers are charging because they're really inexperienced or just getting started, and that's completely fair. But no matter how you got there, at some point you will need to raise your prices. And you may notice a few signs that will indicate that it's time to increase your pricing. For example, you may choose to increase your rates when you can no longer cover your operating costs. Seriously, if you are constantly in the weeds and you can no longer pay your bills, something has got to give. In order to stay afloat, you will need to raise your prices as soon as possible. As a service provider, you should always price your services so that you can pay yourself, pay your taxes, and cover your general expenses. Now, another sign that it's time to raise your prices is after you've reached a new level in your expertise. If you're learning new skills and techniques that you can add into your client services, you can raise your prices to reflect that new skill level. And throughout your career, as you continue to educate yourself, you can use those new experiences to gradually increase the rates that you charge. And my third way to tell that it might be time to raise your prices is when you scale your business and bring on the help of a team. By working with others, you're adding value to your client's experience. Raising your pricing to reflect the work of a team versus working with an individual is a great way to transition into a higher pricing model. Now, many of my clients know that they're undercharging, but they struggle with pulling the trigger on a price increase. And I get it because charging more can be super scary. There are a lot of factors to consider when it comes to your existing client relationships. And while the process of raising your rates will look different for everyone, there are some ways to make it a bit easier and strategic. For example, you can choose to raise your rates when you're launching or relaunching a service. If you begin to offer a new product or service, or if you make some adjustments to an existing service, you can use that as an opportunity to increase the pricing. You can just add the new pricing structure to your website and then do a launch or a relaunch in order to debut the new packaging and pricing. You can also use the current season or increase your pricing annually. It seems like the cost of running a business increases year after year, so why shouldn't your pricing reflect that? You can use the beginning, the middle, or end of a year to promote seasonal pricing and then let your clients know that this price is going to increase at the beginning of the new year or the new season. Now, the third and my personal favorite way is to increase your prices with each new client. One of the easiest ways to increase your pricing is to do it gradually with each new client as you become more experienced and get more confident. Clients don't have to know how much all of your other clients are paying. You can bump up your baseline pricing each time you bring on a new client until you're comfortable charging more. My point is, the rates you're charging now won't always be the rates you're charging in the future. There will likely come a time, or maybe you're in that time right now, where you realize that you need to raise your pricing. And when that time comes, these are just some ways to make that process a little less daunting. And now I want to hear from you. Have you raised your prices, or are you feeling like it's time to raise them? Leave me a comment and let me know. If you want to make sure that you are perfectly pricing your services and learn how to sell them with confidence, you're definitely going to want to pick up my social media management services pricing guide. Just look for the link in the description for all the details.